Welcome back. It's another episode. It's Monday. We're feeling fresh. We're feeling energized. I'm lying. I'm tired.
I wish it was
Friday. I hate that I have to go to work today.
I'm sure you guys do too. But whatever the case is, we hope you're having a wonderful day.
Yeah. How was your weekend?
It was good. Just relaxing, doing homework.
Yeah.
And exercising, of course. You know, gotta fit that in somehow. But it's been pretty good so far. Nothing has changed. I haven't started working. Let's see. I'm waiting for that one because they hired me technically. And technically I'm still hired at my other job, but that's been a big old mess. But until then, we'll continue to grab this check.
Yeah.
It sucks, but you know, it's what I gotta do for right now. So
yeah,
I'm gonna do what I gotta do. But I don't know. Anything life-changing has happened to me?
Oh my God, this week, guys, I got my skates. I'm lit. Oh my God, I was so excited. We went out, I think, to eat Thursday night with family. So I went straight from work, straight to go out to eat. And then I got home late. And I got home and they were sitting in my room. And I'm like, what is this? I was so happy. The lights, the wheels light up all cute.
Super
and
cute.
Oh my God, I'm in love. I'm in love.
Oh, girl, should I talk about my negative Nancy, my Karen?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. This week I went to the store with my son. And a woman felt the need to yell at me because my son having a mask is child abuse. So she felt the need to tell me that, and I turned around so damn quick. I was like, "Excuse me?" Oh no, because oh my God, it was just. And I usually am not the one to like talk back or anything to anybody because you know I mind my own business, and you know if they have their own opinion, they have their own opinion. But once you direct it towards me and my son, it's another story. So, like, I mean, I just told her to mind her own damn business, like. Don't worry about what me and my kid are doing. You worry about your own fucking life and what the fuck you're doing. So it's just like, I hate people who are like that. Don't judge me in my life.
What was it that she said? She said, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, so she's talking to some guys outside and she's just, this is ridiculous. These people all wearing these masks. They're all doing this stupid nonsense. And then people have the nerve to have their kids with these masks. And I'm like walking right past her. So I'm like, I know this bitch. So then she looks down at me and my son. She looks at my son and then looks at me. So I see her and like I look her in the eyes and she's like, shame on you.
Bitch! Shame on you.
That's child abuse. And I was like, mind you got that business. How about that one?
Oh my God.
She just got quiet. I guess she didn't expect me to. The guys were kind of like, whoa. Because I guess they didn't expect me to reply. But I wasn't going to let that shit slide. I don't know what you thought this was. And it's America, the land you love so much.
God.
I have free speech too.
We're such in like weird times right now because like you're entitled to your own opinion. You know, we have freedom of speech, this and that. But like it is like turned up 20 notches right now.
You can have your own opinion. That doesn't give you the right to berate somebody over the fact that, you know, or beat them over the head with the things that you believe are true. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work like that. Like, and then they're not willing to agree to disagree. Then she called me a zombie from across the way, right? You're a zombie. You guys are all fucking zombies. And then my son, I get in the car and he's like, Mommy, I don't want you to be a zombie. And I was just like, oh my God, that's great. See what I'm saying? But my son is going to remember things like that. You know what I'm It's just like, no, it's just ridiculous. Don't worry about what I'm doing. You worry about your life. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Because I don't owe you an explanation as to what I'm doing in my life and why.
Yeah.
You are nobody to me. So it's like, no, girl, that still gets me upset just thinking about it. And when I first told Dali, she was up here like, what?
I know. I was upset. I thought I was there. Oh my God. I would have been really upset.
I've just never dealt with that personally. And I'm sure some people have. But it's like, you know, you hear about things, you see videos. Never think you would experience that in real life, though, you know? And they're out there. Them Karens are out there. Those people who are still strong in their opinion that they'll knock you on top. You know what I'm saying?
Or that look down on you because you don't hold the same values as they do.
Right.
And it's like...
No, who are you?
Right.
I don't know.
And it's the same... I hate to say it. But it's the same people that are like... putting huge ass signs of Trump that want the world to know that they're for Trump. And like... don't talk to me about anything else.
Right.
Because Trump is God.
Right.
And I'm like, can we have like
a balance, agree
like
to disagree,
or like, right, like an agree to disagree? Like why?
It's not though. It's just because it's a lot linked to it. It's just it's a very touchy subject for sure. Like people don't want to talk about it because it's a big conflict that people don't want to debate. You know, so it's just I'd rather just not say anything about it at all because I don't want to start this conversation. Which is like messed up because people should want to have those conversations.
But I feel like it's just so hard. Like with politics and religion, people should have the conversation, but we need to be, in my opinion, we need to be very, very careful about the way that we have the conversation because it could end up being insulting or belittling or disrespectful. I mean, when I talk about my beliefs in politics, and I don't really even know politics 100% like that, and I know I just did it where I was belittling a Trump supporter,
right?
You know, and like I can't say respect my opinion, but I'm not respecting yours. Right. You know, like it's like one of those like touchy subjects where it's like where's the line that gets crossed? Right. Like where do you draw the line? That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because I guarantee you, a lot of these people that do the things that they're telling people this, they're telling people that, but like, what would really happen if I turned around and told some white woman, shame on you for, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, because I know for a fact, like...
shame on you for being white. Girl,
the nerve. Because they think they're entitled to say things to people, and it's just like, no. This is not that. Who are you?
A lot. And unfortunately, like, it's just a lot of people, like, that just feel entitled to, like, do things like that.
Every opinion.
Like, bitch, I'm just here trying to live my life. Mm-hmm. Leave me alone. Who are you even?
Yeah. No.
But then I guess at the same time, who are you even? Like, why even fucking care what you have to say?
True.
So it's like, life lesson? I don't know. Fuck these hoes. Pay them no mind. Adulting tip of the day.
So has there been anything for you, like, new?
No, my skates. I mean, I'm thrilled.
Skates.
I'm fucking thrilled. That's really it. I had a week of work, and it's just it came, it went. I'm on my other week that's gonna come and go. God, the skates have really been the only thing that have brought in like sunshine in my life lately. I don't know if you guys heard from last episode, but I like gave up coffee during the week. So the skates have just made me, like, they filled a black hole that was in my heart.
Yeah. It is weird not drinking coffee.
Girl, I wake up and drink straight apple cider vinegar. And I do feel good. Like, surprisingly, I just miss, like, the craving of it, like, the taste of it.
Just, like, the sipping it.
Yeah.
Relaxing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just being like, okay, I'm gonna have this coffee and go on with my day, God. It's enjoyable. I don't know, it's weird.
Especially like when I'm sitting at my desk and it's just like sitting there and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take another sip. This is great. But yeah, and then yesterday we had a pretty fun day. We hung out with some like family friends.
We had like a girls' night.
Yeah, we ordered takeout, had wine.
It was good. We had some great conversations and great debates.
And I think that is why the night was so good, because I love when like you can hang out with people and you can have good conversation.
Right.
And that one was
and
just
still
like...
have opposing opinions about certain things, but are able to put it to the side.
Right.
And be able to enjoy themselves with who they're with, not just because of their opinion on politics or their opinion on this or that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, like...
And it was kind of hard at first. Because at first, like, we were, like, debating between Trump and Biden and, like, Democrat and Republican. And right now we're living in a time where we're, the most divided I think we've ever been as a country or some shit like that. So, like, having these talks, it's like, there is, like, it's, like, weird at first.
And especially if you have some, like, okay, it's super easy to talk to someone who you feel is on the same side as you.
On the same side, yeah.
But when you have someone that's on the opposing side, it's kind of like they're going to shoot some facts at you or some things that they feel that that they're right because of this and this and that.
And it's hard too because a lot of the things, like I said earlier, I'm not like a genius with politics. Right. There's still things I need to learn about stuff. Research. When like the other person is talking to me and they're like throwing down the facts, I can't even say,
you're just like, I can't even defend.
Right, like fight the issue at hand. Like I can't say but. I just sit there and I'm like, yeah, I guess. Yeah. You know more than I do because I don't know.
Right.
And it's like...
And then at that point, what do you believe? Like, where did he get his facts from? Or where did... it's everywhere right now.
Right. It's
just too much. But one subject we did bring up.
Yeah, which happens to be...
the subject of today's episode. Yeah. We are talking about immigration custom enforcement.
ICE, baby. I thought I was real clever for the ICE. It's not a game. I shouldn't be joking about it, but I just had to. And we're Latinas, so
this kind of hits home a little bit. Like, we were born here, so we're not foreigners or we're not people from other countries or anything.
Right, and we're Puerto Rican, so like our country isn't like. They get treated like immigrants. Let me tell you that.
Say, like, I rolled my eyes. Like, yeah,
we pay our taxes, but it sure don't seem like it. But that's a whole other
subject.
Topic. Yeah, we can touch base on one day. But
I think that we hold this kind of close to us because we are Latinas, and it is heartbreaking to see other families. Like growing up, I had a lot of friends whose parents were illegal or, we're just not supposed to be here, whatever the case is. But to think about them losing their parents because of that, it's horrifying.
It's heartbreaking, yeah.
It is, because, like, just to think about it, it just makes you want to cry. Because it's like, damn, like, because I feel like they're not supposed to be here.
And it's harder, too, that we're dealing with this so high right now in the land of the free. This country was founded by immigrants fleeing from other countries to start this free land and this freedom of everything, and now we're like, it's just crazy.
And they set up the rules the way that they did on purpose, so it's like,
and it sucks too because I get it. We can't let everyone in. There's just no space. There's no jobs. There's nothing. But, like, I don't know. It's hard. Those are the
excuses, but I feel like a lot of Latinos do the jobs that a lot of people don't want to do.
Right.
And then I feel like Americans are lazy as hell. They're lazy as shit. And a lot of them don't have jobs, and there's tons of jobs out there. So, like, there's people more than willing to cross that border and come get a job and provide for their family. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. That's just, like... I have my little torn opinion on that because it's just like...
I do too. Because I do agree with you, like, saying, like, we are lazy and we don't want to do the jobs that these immigrants are doing. But what happens when those jobs are filled up and we still have immigrants coming? Then they take the jobs that we are willing to do,
And it's crazy, and it's like... Because the unemployment rate, it was low under the Trump administration. Because till now, whatever. But... did that mean people were having jobs? Did that mean that people had the best of jobs to provide for themselves? Hell no.
No, not even as Americans. Like, my American citizenship status doesn't mean that I'm living in the lap of luxury. Like,
right. And then, but like earlier we were saying, we kind of are in a way.
Yeah,
because we're like and I think some people take that for granted too. Is just the fact that like America sucks in a lot of ways. It does. But we have a lot of freedoms and opportunities that a lot of people don't get.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that, even though they say that this is the land of the free and we know it's really not, I mean...
We're pretty free.
Only certain people can be free. We'll just say that.
Yeah.
And then, we have choices to do different things. It's just, I don't know. It's a big full circle that goes into effect, I feel like. And it just, domino effect.
Well, I feel like when I was younger and I did have my friends that had, like, illegal parents or illegal family members, I couldn't really grasp the understanding as to why they left their country.
Right.
Like, of course, you're like, oh, well, they're poor. And here they're rich. They have more money. That's, like, what I understood at the time. And the more that I got older, you know, like your eyes start to open,
right.
And you're
you see
like,
stuff for what it is.
These countries are going through it. If I had a kid and that was the situation I was living in, and I had to flee my country and be a refugee and shit like that, like I would fucking leave.
Yeah.
You know, and like I posted this thing on Facebook the other day that I really liked because it said, it was like from the Mean Girls, and it was like, oh, so you agree? Or like, know that thing, and it was like, oh, you agree? No, it started off saying like, if you hate America so much, then why don't you leave?
Oh, so you agree?
Oh, so you agree? Somebody that doesn't like the government and the system in the area that they're living in should be free to leave, and not be reprimanded for it. And that's exactly what these immigrants are going through.
Oh my goodness! I read somewhere that that you could pay to, I don't even know how to say it, to not be a citizen anymore. That's what I mean to say. It costs like $2,500.
Oh, I don't know.
That's crazy. You gonna charge me to not be a citizen too? Y'all ain't shit.
Shouldn't that be free?
Right.
Y'all trying to get everyone out?
Can I just go? Like,
I'll go with them. No, I would not go with them. No, but it's such a hard situation, man.
Things like that makes you want to move. And I've heard tons of people say that, like, oh, we're gonna move and we're gonna move to Canada, and you know, we know someone who actually did, but
yeah,
but still, you know, like, I mean, what are you gonna do after that? You don't know how other countries are.
Every country, I mean, no country's perfect. It's just not, and it's gonna have everything's gonna have its flaws.
Yeah.
But I feel like right now America is facing a lot of problems, and it's just because we're so divided, we're like the most opinionated that we've ever been. Thank you to social media and to like
right.
everything, you know, like everyone has an opinion about something, and
every thought, blink, fart.
Dude, for real, everyone's feelings are always hurt. America needs a big ass like Band-Aid. Like, just take care of y'all. Like,
for real.
Put some Vaporu on all of us and get rid of everything.
Get the Vicks.
But I don't know where I was going with that. But we can go right into like what ICE does, these detention camps, centers.
So we researched a little bit on what exactly it is. It started in March of 2003, and it was started under the Homeland Security. But their mission statement is to protect America from cross-border crime and illegal immigration that threaten national security and public safety. Now, me and Dali had talked about this and said, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people, kids, mothers, families, that were not a danger to the public or the national or threat to the national security. And we're putting, you know what I'm saying? Like, not every single one of these people, they took this motto and messed it all up.
They found all the loopholes in that.
Right. But ICE are the people who can initiate deportation proceedings. They aren't police, but they can carry guns and have small clubs on them. And a lot of their gear can and will say police, even though they are not police.
I'm done.
Right.
So you're police.
Right.
You're a cop.
Pretty much. I mean, I feel like if you have a gun and you have the ability to...
And if your outfit, your uniform says police, the fuck?
Right.
That's like, what did I say that was like?
Impersonate, first off.
But yeah, I said, I had said that I'm going to just start putting MD at the end of my name.
Oh,
and just be like, well, I'm not really a doctor, but.
Right. You can think I am.
Right. I have the MD there because, you know, whatever. The police do it all the time, apparently.
Right. It'll be okay. We learned that there are over 200 detention centers in state and local jails and juvenile centers and shelters combined. They said that 4,000 people in a detention center was a lot. That was a high number. That 6,000 is considered a crisis, and that 13,000 is unprecedented. Does that make
unprecedented?
Unprecedented, yeah. Does that make sense? Unprecedented?
Unprecedented.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, they're saying that like 13,000 people is a ridiculous ass amount. If you think that 4,000 is a lot, that's triple, and then some. So we looked that up, and that was just ridiculous. So if you're not mandating and going with the max capacity, as to if you don't have a max capacity and you're letting how many other people, how are you able to control and take care of all these people?
Yeah,
you can't. It's just not possible.
Keep them sheltered, fed, well nourished. There's just no way. And like, I was hearing stories, I don't know how true it is, but like, I'm sure it's true, where these kids were getting dehydrated in there, and
where there's people that are dying. And just those, like, well, then I also learned that the detention centers are owned by private corporations. We were talking about that earlier too, as well.
For-profit
like
organizations,
and just like all that other BS. And then, you know, they don't have money for anything. They're making a shit ton of money off of this, but barely have the necessities that they need. Okay, that was another thing that we had researched as well, were like the conditions and how it was seeming to be, you know, there are people called whistleblowers, and these are people that pretty much, me and Dali already, these are snitches, okay?
Pretty much.
Snitches of different places that they like tell on establishments if they're doing illicit activity, if they're doing illegal shit. They are the ones who go forth and snitch. So they have a few people that were doing that. And I remember finding, we had research because we had seen a lot of little ads and stories about how these women were getting hysterectomies without their own knowledge, or as to they weren't understanding why they were getting these surgeries. There was language barriers, you know, there's just a lot of stuff that they don't talk about, of course. But this is just horrific. To do this to women, to where they can't have kids anymore, and you're sending them back to their country. Like, I can't even imagine as a woman, like, how that would be for you to
like
be...
how, not threatening, how, like, traumatizing that is.
Yeah, like, what? To have them take everything, even if you have kids, who knows, you know? And then some people do need to have those procedures, but, you know, how many women really need those procedures, though? You know, like, it's just...
And then I didn't really look too much into this, but I have heard here and there about it. I'm not really 100% sure, but I was reading where they were, like, hinting to where these detention centers were having, like, gas chambers and shit.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. And then, like, seeing the aluminum covers.
Yeah, dude, that shit.
That's just
it's
the
sad.
most.
It's sad. And, like, I understand immigration control and, like, immigration laws. And if you don't have any immigration laws, you know, like, it made sense. People are going to come in here and just come in here, and they don't have to worry about being an American citizen. If you don't have any laws to immigrate to this country, you don't swear to the U.S. Constitution, blah 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 blah. You, like, you know, like, I get that, and I don't know. It's just so hard, though.
Yeah.
And you have to have money. You're fleeing from a bad situation.
But they know that they have these people stuck. How in the world don't they? Like, the fact that they know that these people are immigrants, so they come from different countries, and they come here for a better life. Then you go and lock them up, and then, you know, in America, you have a right to a free attorney, a public defender. But a lot of these people, it doesn't end up happening for them. Think about how many, like, I'm sure there's...
Dude, and people that have been here for years have raised their kids in America. Are facing these, like, they're probably scared shit. There are still people that are still illegal.
Right.
That they've raised their kids here. Their kids are already having kids, and they are still elite. Like, they still live with that fear that they're gonna be deported back. And a lot of these kids that get taken from when they're little kids, like, let's say you and Jonah fled here, or fled from, let's say you and Jonah fled from Mexico to come here. At Jonah's age right now.
Right.
Or even younger, as a baby, when he was first born. And then they find out that he is an illegal immigrant, and they send him back to Mexico. He has no knowledge of the culture over there. Right. No knowledge of anything. doesn't know how to survive.
And they've done that. And I remember reading one article, but I'm sure they've done that to multiple people where they're sending them to different countries where they know nothing about, and then these people are dying or the language barrier is just too much, or you can't, and that's a big culture shock. Like, dude, you can't expect someone to adjust well like that.
That's scary. And not to be this guy or this girl, whatever, but like, look at these detention camps, and you don't see no white immigrants. I'm sorry, you don't. They're all brown immigrants. They're all immigrants from Mexico and South America, and remember,
I was telling you about that earlier too, because I think that they're only taking certain people, certain races, and I think it's mostly Mexicans too, just because of the fact that there's a lot of Mexicans over here in the United States. So they're,
like, these are the ones imposing threat to our country. But what? Like, y'all are focusing on one group of immigrants. So you can't say immigration control is to control what? Like, I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me, really. And like, it does. But, like, do we have to be this extreme about it?
Yeah.
Like, do we have to be this crazy about it?
And I understand, because I understand the opposing side of it, too, because I also, like, we shouldn't have to pay taxes and have people come in and get it for free. It is messed up.
Yeah. But like I was saying earlier, we're paying taxes for... Regardless. We're paying taxes for immigration services.
Right. Just period. We're paying taxes for everything that they want to use the money for.
Right. And we're paying taxes for the people that are U.S. citizens that want to live off of us for free. And we're paying, like, I'd rather pay, honestly, my personal opinion is I'd rather pay taxes for a family that needs to flee their country to be safe over here. I'd rather have my taxes go to that so they're safe. Right. And they're here and they have better opportunity. Not to be an asshole and keep them out.
Right.
And, like, I know that sounds like in a perfect world.
No, and you know what? And people don't think of it that way. They just think about it like, well, I got to pay taxes for them. I'm not doing it. And it's like, okay, well, if you were in another country and you were to be in the same position, what would you want someone to do?
Right. I would pray somebody is like, they open me and they're like, I hope you're understanding of my situation, because we really need to be. We never know. America's great now, but we never know if that's going to last forever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, then we have conversations about just how everything can change in the blink of an eye. Like, elections is coming up. That's going to be a big thing, Like, oh my goodness. That's just, this whole thing is just stressful. This whole year has been crazy.
Dude, for
and
real.
To have elections on top of it is like, what in the world? Okay, we're deciding our fate. All right, no big deal.
Right.
Even though, like, most of us are, like, probably not working. Some of us are probably going back to work now. It's just like, it's a big mess right now for us we're putting our world and our well-being, I feel like, into people's hands, and they don't care about us. But that's a whole nother, like...
I know, and then it's like the lesser of both evils. Like, who do you go for?
But you know what? Just considering the fact that our presidents don't make the best decisions when it comes to us. Well, not even just that, because it goes through a line. It's a domino effect. It isn't just the president decides, you know what I'm saying? He is technically a president's title is pretty much
military.
Right, is the top person who makes the calls in the military. So that's what the president's job is. But if anything wants to get passed, it has to get passed through, Congress, whatever, the state, the House, whatever, Senate. But if they don't care about us, what makes us think that they're going to care about these other people coming from the other country?
Right. They barely care about our asses.
I can't even finish that sentence. But you know what I was trying to say. So it's kind of like, damn, you treat people like they're nothing. Even kids, what?
And it's so sad. And that's why I try to steer clear of politics. Because when you do start thinking only... And it's hard because everything is politics. Yeah. You grow up and you start to realize, like, there's politics in fucking everything. But the more that you're, like, so politics, it's hard to, like, have an open heart. And to think with, like, with your heart, like, sometimes.
Well, that's the thing, because it's all corrupt. They don't think with their heart. So you can't be... If you're trying to be on that level and be understanding as to what they're talking about and what they're doing and why they're doing it, you damn near got to be heartless. Because they're not... You know what I'm saying? They're making these decisions forgetting... They don't even care about what other people's opinions are. They're making it based on their opinion. You know what I'm saying? And
either way, even if they do, like, let's say they are trying to be considerate of people's opinions. You can't be considerate of everyone's opinions. You have to, like, please some people, and some people are not going to be happy about it.
And, I do believe that there are people that are out there trying to do what's best for others and trying to fight for the greater good. It's just hard because when they're alone or it's very few and they're the minority compared to the majority that is against them, it's hard to get shit done. Mm-hmm. And that if I'm sure it feels like the weight of the world is on their shoulders because there's people who look at certain people for help, like, hey, and you hear all these people, but you can only do so much, so like I think that's something that people need to understand as well.
And but I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm sure too a lot of these people came into this politics game with good intentions. I can't imagine.
I want to say maybe some of them, not all of them, because I believe that it's a money game. It's definitely a money game. Yeah. So these people who are messing with money and are greedy with the money got their sneaky ways. I ain't trusting it.
Yeah. But I would like to believe that somebody just coming into like running for office for anything, they want to do this because they want to make a difference, right. Like, and
you want to believe that we would have people like that,
and then it just slowly becomes super corrupt, and you just get caught up in like the craziness of it all, and I don't know. That's what in Dali's world, that's what I'm just gonna choose to believe.
Let's try to be understanding.
I'm gonna choose to believe that that's just how it is. Ignorance of the truth over here. But it's just disheartening, like these detention centers, these people, what they're going through, everything that's happening. And then you were saying about the parts where they're only being held for a minimum time.
Oh yeah, how just the fact that some people who are in short-term facilities, these short terms are pretty much long-term because there's so many damn people. Mm-hmm. So in the short-term facilities, they don't give them the basic necessities that they need. And, if they do, it's rare and in between. Mm-hmm. And then, these people go without. Even the kids do if it's short-term because you're not meant to stay there for very long. Mm-hmm. But, like...
They're going without, like, what? Soap, toothbrushes?
Beds, water. Like, it's just, like, basic stuff. And I could see why people get dehydrated. I could see why there's been deaths that have been covered up because you're neglecting the people. You're not taking care of them. So what did you expect? So you want to be like, you're from another country. We're not taking care of you. And then that's what I was saying before too. Like maybe they do this in hopes, like when you're in prison, because it's damn near the same thing when you're in prison. They do that to teach you a lesson. Mm-hmm. So they're like, don't do this shit again. Even though, whatever, the statistics, whatever. But, maybe it's the same thing with them. Yeah. We're going to make your life miserable so that you don't ever fucking come here again. So that you don't have to go through this again. Simple, right? Stay in your own country, and it sounds fucking crazy.
So fucked up.
It is.
It's like, and I get it. It's so hard. And I hate to say that I get it. I hate to say that I understand why we're so tough on immigration law and stuff like that. But, like, at the same time, too, like, if the roles were reversed, I wouldn't want that done to me. And I was telling Jackie earlier, we were having a conversation about, like, we were born into America as American citizens, and that's great. Like, I think we are very lucky, but we are, like, extremely lucky. We didn't have, like, it just so happened that we got put into this earth as an American citizen. We could have
been born anywhere. We could have been in a country that barely...
In, like, the slums.
Food. Yeah, barely food, barely clothes. Like...
Right, and I think it's important to remember that, like, we don't get to choose what vagina we come out of.
Right.
It just so happened. Yeah, like, it just so happened that I came out of an American citizen's vagina.
Yeah, and they're like, well, that's none of our concern.
Right, and it's like...
and we don't care.
And it's like, I don't know. I was watching... I like have an obsession. I think I mentioned it on the show before, but I love watching the world's toughest prisons. And you always see the ones in, like, Costa Rica and Brazil and how they're, like, the horrible, horrible conditions. And when they tell their stories, they're like... like, this is just what my life, like, I was born into crime and drugs and gangs.
Right, so if you don't see different and are not surrounded or know, like, how are you going to know it?
Right, and, like, who's to say that if I was born into that environment that I wouldn't be in the same situation?
I thought it would have been gangster.
Gangsta as hell. On Netflix for all of you Americans to watch.
Suffers prison. Is that Dali? Like,
but it is true. I mean,
but
it's
then
like,
they have, and then another thing too is that they have these camps damn near the same as they have that shit. You know,
Yeah.
because and they're horrible. They're horrible. You don't put a room for 15 people. You don't stuff 70 people in there. You know, it's just not what you're supposed to do, and they still do that shit. So it's just, it's ridiculous. And then, you know, to catch a whole bunch of immigrants, in their opinion, is a win.
mm-hmm.
And I mean, I understand that. I understand the reasonings behind it. I do 100%. Do I believe that maybe there's another way to go about it? I would have to like do more as to figure out what that would be. But like,
Right, like how do you even start that? How do you even like go about thinking about that? Because it is a rough subject to think about. Like,
but I feel like in their mind it's pretty clear cut and simple. You know, like, we don't want these immigrants here, and we need to get them out because they're messing up.
so like,
America.
what immigrants do y'all want? That's the question.
Right. And you know that saying "Make America Great Again." I don't understand where that comes from. Because when was America super great?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I feel like America was.
My 28 years of living is kind of like, okay.
America was great in the 90s.
Maybe.
Boy bands were on.
Who was the president?
Clinton. We were just oblivious. We were young and dumb.
Clinton.
We were young and dumb, but the 90s, in my opinion, were bomb.
Yeah.
Like, even looking, we had it so nice back then. Now it's getting ghetto in here.
Yeah.
It's getting real ghetto in the streets
It's just
of the United States.
I think that people are using more of their rights, though. And I think that's another thing, too. Because a lot of people didn't know their rights to the max. And now people are like, wait a minute,
I think
be woke.
technology, like, skyrocketed, and people were voicing
100%.
their opinions on the internet, and everyone's
said,
like,
wait
you
a
know
minute.
what? You're right. Everyone, like, got woke. Everyone's
Right.
like, wait a minute. They make a good point.
Let's all make a video, and let's do this, and let's do that. You know, like, it just makes things so much easier. So to be able to get people to be with the cause or whatever the case is way easier than it was before.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like it's like...
because there's a lot of people who feel it's just as unjust as we do, you know? So it's like, if you get all those people who feel the same way and band them together, you got a little gang, you know? So...
I feel like this is like... Is this what a revolution looks like?
But it's just... Oh, man.
It's a revolution.
It's just crazy. I wonder when this is going to end. I wonder when this will be something that's not a thing.
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. My personal opinion. Just because you riled up the kids. The kids are all riled up. How are you going to calm them down? The kids being U.S. citizens.
Man, this whole thing is going to be craziness.
Like, what are you going to do? Beat us? That's how
right.
like, you know, when you think
Pretty
about,
much.
like, your kids being all riled up, like, like, hella kids. Your whole classroom of kids.
Mm-hmm.
Going ape shit. That's what I feel like is happening in America right now. How does the teacher calm the kids?
Right. How does she still maintain order?
Right.
It's hard. I mean, and then that's just some other subjects like the police and all that.
Yeah, man.
I think that if you work for ICE, I just feel like maybe you feel like you're fighting for the right things, but...
And who knows? Like, maybe you are. Who fucking knows? But I know what I believe in.
And I don't believe that's right. And I don't think that people should be doing that, especially to kids and families, just in general. Like, people don't deserve that just because they come here to improve their life. And I understand that people over here are like, oh, well, they're doing this, they're doing that, and no. But if you look at our own country don't give a damn about us.
Right.
They're not handing out the millions
We ain't the greatest at either.
We have so many billionaires, and we have so many millionaires that could be sharing money, that could be freaking, like, they have more than enough money to sustain everybody.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, okay, who's really on the wrong side?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
It's just, it's just a very difficult and touchy subject for a lot of people, too, because it's just, and I love hearing opinions, opposing opinions, especially, because I'm just like, help me understand how you're feeling.
Right.
You let me know. And if I think it's wrong, you know, I'm opposed, and I'm going to say it's wrong. Can we agree to disagree? Maybe. Like, when it comes to certain things, you have to put it, everyone has their own opinions about shit, so you got to be willing to put up, shut up, and just deal with it.
And I think that's an important, not just in politics and like with the ICE and everything that's going on. I think that's important growing up regardless.
Right.
Like understanding that you can agree to disagree with other people's opinions and you can just, you know, have a civil conversation. It doesn't have to be petty or immature or anything.
And that's definitely one thing I want to teach Jonah too. And then I would hope that I am woke enough to explain to him things that are happening so that when he's growing up, he's not stupid to what's going on. And he's going to be like, this history we have right here, this isn't right, teacher. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is actually false.
Dude, I wish I could have been that student. I was like sleeping in class.
That's what I'm saying. Like, oh yeah, Thomas Jefferson. And, you know, blah, blah, blah.
We get it, George Washington.
Right.
First president.
Being fucked, but
I'm just like now getting really, really into it, which I'm glad I am, but I would have loved to get into this earlier.
Everything's interesting to like learn your history, knowing it. It's interesting.
I mean, and learning your history is like learning about yourself, really. I mean, everything that happened in the past is the reason you're here in this moment and like you are who you are.
And it's kind of exciting to think that I want to figure out the story in full to now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happened from when I was born, even then, to when I was born to now? What crazy things have happened? Or, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of cool to think about. It
is kind of cool.
Should we talk about our adulting tip?
It's the adulting tip of the day, here to stay. We need to start making like but yeah, you want to go ahead?
Okay, so our adulting tip for today and this week is just to put yourself in someone else's shoes. Things get difficult. People have different reasons for different things. Just try to be understanding. Being able to see someone else's perspective is such a great thing to achieve. Yeah. Just in life in general, you know, to have perspective on other people through other people's eyes of their life and their situations, you know, because they're not the same as yours. Yeah. So remember that.
Life hack. Perspective. We should start doing something like that, like life hacks.
Oh yeah, that'd
be cool. Anyway, sorry, we're off topic. We're like in a meeting now. Yeah, perspective is dope. I think it's important to. You can't. The way that you think is not the only way.
Right. There's different ways. Yeah. That you haven't even thought of.
Yeah.
So and expand your mind.
Yeah, and like getting other people's perspective is dope because like you can like grow from that as well. Right. Like, you know what? I didn't see it that way. You know what? That's interesting. Like, I would have never thought of it that way. I would have never even thought about something like that. Yeah. So, perspective.
Try to see different views. What is the question we always ask? Are we understanding it? That is our away
question.
Yes, away question for this episode. Are we understanding it?
I feel like not yet. I feel like I'm in the process of trying to be the most understanding that I can possibly be. And I think that like just goes throughout life. Yeah. Always trying to be understanding.
Yeah. It's an everyday thing for sure. Yeah. You gotta remind yourself sometimes. It's easy to get wrapped up in your own life and not care about what's going on around you. But it's very important to know, you know? Like, it's super important to know and for you to teach that as well.
And I think, I feel like this show has helped so much because we're able to talk about these issues. And it does help us understand more. I mean, we learn with you guys, too. Like, we're talking about all this, and we learn, and
we're learning and sharing.
Yeah, learning and sharing. And our perspective, word of the day here, our perspective, like, does change. We are growing through that. And, like, talking about things to better understand is important.
Always.
Jilly, if you guys hear something in the background, it's Jilly. She's passed out. We need to post a picture of Jilly. We promised them like 2 episodes ago. We do. We're sorry.
That's She's all just you, Dali. That's your baby.
Chilling. She's always chilling.
You gotta get her. I have some videos of her. She's so cute.
The baby. But all right, this was a good episode.
Yeah.
We know, like, we don't have all the facts, of course.
And all the answers, but we read what we can, we research what we can and see and compare and try to come out with the best content for you to be a little more understanding of certain things, you know?
Yeah.
So we will see you later. Thank you for listening. Have a great week.
Bye. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And there was one more thing I wanted. Oh, if you don't already, follow our social media, especially our Instagram. I feel like we're the most active on our Instagram. But there's some fun things coming up for the month of October that we have planned. So yeah, follow Are We Adulting Yet podcast on Instagram. I always get just so confused.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, we're on YouTube full time now. We're all caught up there. We're on Facebook, on Twitter. So yeah, check us out, and so you can be updated on all the fun stuff that we have going on.